Have you ever wondered, what will I look like when I get older? And this is a pretty understandable question. I mean, the average age of death is probably around 70 to 80, so you're gonna have a lot of aging to go through. And chances are, you're gonna look a lot different as you get older and start to age. You've probably noticed that a lot of older people tend to have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles, and this is just a normal part of the aging process. Everyone is almost certain to develop these fine lines and wrinkles as they get older. However, what if I told you that you can slow down the process that you develop these fine lines and wrinkles? You're probably excited, right? I mean, you could be looking young and youthful in your 30s and 40s. First things first, let me just tell you, mom was right. Go put on your sunscreen. I know it's annoying whenever your mom would tell you to put on the sunscreen, but you just have to do it. It is the most important step when it comes to making sure that you have that young and youthful skin. If you didn't know, the sun can do a lot of damage to your skin. And this is because of the UV rays that the sun projects onto your skin. I'll sort of break it down into simple terms. Think of your skin as like a rubber band. Basically, those UV rays from the sun sort of stretch out that rubber band, which is your skin, obviously. So when the rubber band gets stretched out, it goes from being very compact and tight to being very flimsy and loose, and this flimsiness in your skin is the reason why people have wrinkles and fine lines. So the best thing to do to prevent this is to use an SPF sunscreen, and this is basically going to prevent the sun from stretching out your skin. It'll sort of maintain that elasticity that your skin has, so you won't have those fine lines or wrinkles. If you want a specific sunscreen to use, I would just recommend getting the Round Lab Birch Juice sunscreen. I've been using this for almost a year, and by far this is the best sunscreen I've tried. Now keep in mind, I haven't tried many sunscreens, but out of the ones that I have tried, it is definitely top tier. You should get the sunscreen. And in general, a lot of Korean sunscreens are going to be very high quality, especially because they don't really leave a white cast behind. And that's one of the reasons why people don't like wearing sunscreens. And I remember back in the day when my mom would always be telling me to put on sunscreen, I would just hate doing it because I would be looking like a straight ghost after putting it on. I swear my complexion just completely changed after I put that stuff on. But actually, once you get a sunscreen that doesn't leave a white cast behind, you're actually going to be wanting to put the sunscreen on. It's just so smoothing and nice to the skin. I would always recommend getting a sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30 to 50. If you don't know what SPF stands for, it's basically the sun protection factor. In simple terms, the higher the SPF, the longer you're going to be able to sail in the sun without getting sunburned. However, no matter how high the SPF is, you're always going to need to reapply if you're out in the sun a lot. Literally a week ago, I was in Mexico, so I had to apply my sunscreen a lot because I mean, I was out in the sun, in the heat, so I was applying sunscreen probably 3 to 4 times a day. So yeah, if you're out playing sports, doing work, anything like that, try to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours. If you're going to be inside a lot, maybe you're working an office job or you're just in school, then you only need to apply sunscreen once in the morning, and that's it. Now, in addition to the sunscreen, you should also be wearing protective clothing, things like hats, jackets, sunglasses. In the United States, it's the summertime right now, so obviously you're not going to want to be wearing a jacket during the summertime. It's just way too hot. But at least wear something like a t-shirt so it doesn't completely show your whole chest area. And to my boys out there that do want to go shirtless, make sure that you use those sunscreen sprays so that you don't get your body overexposed to those UV rays. And obviously sunglasses and hats are going to protect you from the UV rays when it comes to your face and your head. So now that we have the basics out of the way, let's get to the more advanced advice. Next thing you want to do is get yourself either retinol or retinoid. The protective clothing and the sunscreen are both things that are going to prevent aging and slow down aging from occurring. However, when it comes to retinoid and retinol, this can actually reduce the appearance of those wrinkles and fine lines if you already have them. The way that retinol works is that you have layers of skin cells, and these skin cells actually shed and get replaced. Basically, what retinol does, it increases the speed of the process that you can shed and replace these new skin cells. The reason that this is so good is that these wrinkles and fine lines that you might have are imperfections in the skin. And if you're using retinol or retinoid, you can actually replace these imperfections with new healthy skin cells. So you're going to be able to reduce the appearance of those fine lines and wrinkles that you might have. If you do have access to a dermatologist, Retinoid is probably the best thing for you. However, you got to be careful if you do have sensitive skin because it can be very drying. But yeah, Retinoid is the most studied retinoid, which is why it's so reliable. In certain countries, you can also get Differengel, which contains adapalene. It is very similar to Retinoid. There aren't as many studies conducted about adapalene, but it still should work when it comes to those anti-aging properties. There are retinol serums available over the counter, but I will say that retinoids are going to get you better results most likely when it comes to the anti-aging properties, just because retinoids are much stronger. Also, if you didn't know, retinoid has other benefits including getting rid of acne, hyperpigmentation, and acne scars. So yeah, it doesn't only have anti-aging benefits. Now, if you want something that's much easier to get over the counter, you can also get any type of antioxidant. My personal favorites are niacinamide or vitamin C. In general, antioxidants are going to help deal with those free radicals that are in the air, which can be generated obviously from UV rays, which is from the sun. This is good because those free radicals can cause damage to your skin, which is why you get fine lines and wrinkles. So if you're using an antioxidant, it's gonna help prevent that. They can also boost collagen production, so your skin is gonna be able to retain that elasticity. I personally use the vitamin C serum from Banish, but you could get really any vitamin C serum. The Ordinary has many serums that people use. They have the niacinamide and the vitamin C serum. I like to apply my vitamin C serum in the morning before I apply my sunscreen, because the vitamin C can actually boost the effectiveness of the sunscreen. So it's basically gonna go from this to this. Wow, there wasn't really much of a difference, but you get the point. That's basically all the advice I can give you, but before you do all this, just make sure that you accept the fact that you will grow up and look very old. You're gonna have a bunch of fine lines and wrinkles, and that's gonna be completely fine. Just accept that fact. There's no way in the world that you can naturally prevent yourself from getting any fine lines or wrinkles. It's just not possible. Unless someone somehow finds the fountain of youth or something, you're just not gonna be able to do it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you follow my Instagram @choice.yt and follow my TikTok @choiceplug. I appreciate you guys, and peace.